Once upon a time, in a land far, far away from here, there lived a family of guinea pigs, and their abode, the place where they lived, was a very pleasant place indeed. A tiny, cosy house in a quiet little village called Haypepper. Have you ever been to Haypepper? I don't expect you have. Hardly anyone has. It's a bit of a backwater, you see. It's not very fashionable. It's not the sort of place you would find the modern guinea pig about town strutting his stuff. Nor would you find the ladies who lunch sporting the latest in guinea pig designer label cashmere. There were none of the big names in Haypepper, none of the high street chains. Whirls and Twirls grooming parlour was, for instance, conspicuous only by its absence. Neither was there any neon signage inviting visitors to the popcorning disco palace, because there wasn't one. There were no budget hotels or cheap fast food restaurants either. Not even Hay and Stay had made it as far as Haypepper. Consequently, Haypepper was a peaceful place. Nothing much had changed in decades, and there didn't seem to be any great likelihood of much changing in the foreseeable future either. Nothing seemed to happen in Haypepper. It was uneventful. I think Haypepper might have suited you. I think you might have liked it, if you'd ever visited. Of course, I suppose the culinary delicacies of the place might not have suited your human digestive system, and perhaps the scale of the place might have made things tricky for you too. For, perfect though you are in human proportions, of course, you certainly would not have fitted into the buildings there. For although there were no chain stores in Haypepper, there were a number of places to visit. The post office, for example, and the library. That library was full of books, full to the rafters. There were all the wonderful books that you yourself have already read over and over. Although, as you would no doubt expect, these classics were translated into the guinea pig native tongue. Guinea pig is a wonderful language, beautiful, almost lyrical at times, although the exact intonation and articulation of the squeaks and gurgles, and in particular the bubbling warble, is difficult for the non-native speaker to perfect. Truth be told, guinea pig is tricky, even as a spoken language, but the hieroglyphic script is regarded, infamously, as nigh on impossible to master. To approach fluency is the work of a lifetime. Alongside the familiar classic texts were a good number of books that you have probably never come across before. Plenty of cookery books, of course, detailing imaginative ways to combine hay with broccoli, hay with red pepper, hay with clover, hay with cucumber, hay with cauliflower leaves, hay with sweet corn, and a good many other recipes also, mostly involving hay. And then there were other books, such as those containing maps, which pinpointed the best sources of hay in the surrounding areas, alongside detailed diagrams of tried and tested methods of harvesting and drying said delicacy. Then there were several volumes of poetry. The poetry books had been donated by the local school and contained examples of current and former students' work. The poems were varied in length, vocabulary and rhyming structure, according to the age of the contributing authors. However, despite the aforementioned caveats, the subject matter of the poetry varied but rarely. In this, the poems were consistent, predictable even. And after a while, I wonder if even you, with your voracious appetite for literature of all kinds, might have paled at the thought of embarking on the perusal of yet another composition entitled Ode to Hay. The most recent one I came across began something like this. I shall try to translate as best I can, although, as I have hinted at, there are some nuances in the language that are tricky to convey adequately in English. Hey, hey, you make my day. You, for me, are as bright and gay as the most beautiful, warming and golden sun ray. Forgive me, dear dried grass, if I sound a little fey, but from you, my true darling, I promise never to stray. Near to you, lovely hay, may I forever stay, for as I say, O sweetest hay. And it continued on and on and on in a similar vein. I think you have probably already grasped the general idea. But the guinea pigs were happy. What was the secret of their happiness? I don't think they ever really thought much about this, or verbalised it either, despite the detailed and intricate language structures available to them. They were too busy having fun. But if I was to try to put it into words myself, I think that I would identify the source of their contentment as their gratitude for and joy in the most simple pleasures of life. In hay, of course, yes, but also in popcorning, a popular form of guinea pig dance, in snuggling up together with their families, and in many other day-to-day things. The guinea pig's sheer exuberance and vitality and sense of fun was astonishing, and seemed to stem purely from the fact that they were alive in the world and they were guinea pigs, and they couldn't think of anything or anywhere they would rather be. For the guinea pigs of Haypepper were happy. They were truly very happy indeed.